here today. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. First of all, these guys put out new music. Todd's got new music and Scott's got new music. And Jay, I think it's a little strange
that you don't have music.
That these two like do the same thing at the same time. Like if Scott said, "I'm gonna go take a shit," Todd would be like, "I'm gonna go take a shit," and it goes both ways. You guys are always doing the same thing at the same time. Is that competition?
No, I think it's just camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I think
it's like.
Sorry.
I was just saying it's kind of like a yawn. You yawn, I'll yawn. Jay will start yawning, then Scott.
Speaking of yawning, let's listen to Scott's new song.
Speaking of drinking, I actually haven't drank in like 2 months now.
Scott, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment.
I mean, it is when you consider that I've drank every single night of my life for the past 12 years up until now.
Do you miss it?
Not really. Actually, I really enjoy not having the like mood swings that I had when I was drinking and like the hangovers I'd wake up with every single day.
I miss it.
You miss drunk Scott?
The house is getting so boring. I used to come in every night and Scott would be lit. Now I come in and he's just like watching anime. And I'm like,
hey,
ordering Chick-fil-A.
Hey, Jay, you want a Diet Coke?
Okay. Oh, gross.
No. That's the funniest thing to me is like everyone that's like on their diet or like not drinking, they order a Diet Coke at dinner or at lunch, right? And I've seen people get like multiple Diet Cokes. I'm like, you realize this is worse for you than a glass of wine.
Yes, Zane is on his fitness right now, but he will order a Diet Coke.
But the Diet Coke's like a replacement from like the booze or something else.
When Todd's not drinking, he's only drinking wine. He's like, I'm not drinking other than wine.
I honestly, I don't like alcohol anymore except for wine.
Except for wine.
I did the same thing when I was like, I'm having like nights off of like actually drinking whiskey or tequila. Then it would be like, I'm just going to have a couple glasses of wine. Ended up being like a bottle of wine. And then after the bottle of wine, I'd be like, I'm going to sneak into the freezer and have a couple shots. This will knock me out for the night. But it was supposed to be only wine.
One unfortunate downside of Scott not drinking is I wanted to go out the other night and I was like, I had some people over and I was going to go out. And usually I can go into like the freezer and there's like tequila everywhere. Like whiskey. We have like a whole bar. I go in there, there's nothing. I was like, where's all the booze? I was like, what am I going to do? There's no booze.
Dude, I was looking at my Uber Eats on my like Chase app and like how much money I spent. In July, I spent like before I stopped drinking, $5,000 on Uber Eats, and a lot of that was booze orders because I would order from Bevmo like $250 worth of alcohol like at least twice a week.
I remember when we moved out of our house together, I was like doing some last minute like cleaning so we could get our security deposit back, and I went through some of the shelves in the kitchen. Like clean them out, and I found like just empty bottle, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's had a problem this whole time!"
Right under my nose.
You knew.
I really didn't, because you're not a bad drunk, Todd.
What did I do?
Well, like when Todd's drunk, you know, and you can be really fun drunk too, but you know you're drunk.
I just have a lot of energy.
Yeah, like you're
passionate.
Grab you, and you're like, we have fun when you're drunk, of course. And
remind me to never invite you out.
But when Scott was drunk, I didn't really notice.
The way that I was an alcoholic, was I wouldn't like wake up and pour whiskey into my coffee or anything like that. It was just like every night I drank. You
guys are in your 30s. Jay and Todd, are you gonna follow suit? You're gonna stop drinking?
I mean, I don't drink really.
Yeah, he doesn't really.
You don't drink.
I almost never drink. I maybe drink like a couple times a month.
He had a bit of a phase where he was definitely like going out a little bit more, but he always was like drinking less than anybody else in our house.
Now, recreational drug use.
Yeah, I mean, psilocybin is on the rise, guys. Everyone's microdosing, but it's not really microdosing when we do it, right? It's like fucking let's pop 20 of these gummies.
I will say I do love like the mushroom kick. Like I'm a big fan of them. I hope that they get like legalized. Yeah. I hope that they get regulated. I like mushrooms.
It is a lot better than drinking. Just doing a couple mushrooms.
Is there any downside to it?
Not for me. Like, okay, yes. There's one downside, and it's when you take too much, and then you're like,
it feels like you're in a movie.
Yeah, it does.
Also, it's kind of a dangerous time. Like I understand it's like Saturday night. You want to take some mushrooms. Okay, great. But like if it's Monday and you're microdosing, like there goes your Monday.
I mean, I don't actually really microdose. Like a lot of people are microdosing all day, every day. They're like replacing caffeine with mushrooms and doing all this.
Or like anxiety meds.
Or anxiety meds. I just like to do it like on like a Friday night. I'll take a little bit more than a microdose, and then it gives me a lot of energy, and I'm giggly. I'm having fun. I feel like I can be sociable without having to be drunk.
Right.
I personally am not a huge fan of the mushroom craze. I don't like anything that like makes me feel like up and stimulated that's not like caffeine. Like I preferred like alcohol above everything because it kind of like calmed me down and like numbed my brain a little bit. Whereas mushrooms kind of just like changes the way I think and like makes me like shit is heightened, and I don't want shit to be heightened ever because I feel like I'm constantly overthinking everything.
When will you drink again?
I'll have a couple glasses of wine at like a nice dinner with my girlfriend or with my boyfriend or with my other boyfriend or you or like at a special event, you know, a wedding, whatever.
Did you drink at Joe's wedding?
I drank at Joe's wedding, yeah.
It's really funny. After I did my speech at Joe's wedding, like people came up to me and said it did a good job. It felt really good. I was like, oh, cool, you know, and because it was like last minute speech, whatever. But then John Castro came up to me and he was like, oh, good speech, Jason, like that. But then he was the only one that was like critical.
What did he say?
And it was like it like killed me. He goes, yeah, the speech was good, Jason, but it would have been nice if you kind of brought it around to Caitlin in the end.
You said that in the middle of your speech too. You're like, I know, I gotta like talk about Caitlin too, but like right now I have to bring up Joe a little bit. But I'm gonna get to you, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny.
And then I felt like I was up there too long.
No, you're.
I don't think
so.
so.
I just got off, and I didn't talk about Caitlin. So Caitlin, I'm sorry. And what I would have said was, Joe, you can come stay with me because the speech was about Joe living with me. Mm-hmm. You can come stay with me anytime as long as you bring Caitlin with you. That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
And it's eating me up because you can't get that moment back.
I have been very curious about your wedding, honestly. Like,
we all are.
Is that just like we're just kind of like rolling with it right now? We're married.
Truthfully, we just don't want to spend the money on a wedding right now. Mm-hmm. So I think we might just go.
Let's go to Cabo.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna go and elope and then maybe go to David's and have Dobrik's after. Oh, yeah. Something like that.
Be great.
Or just go to Cabo. She's looking at me like, she says Cabo.
I'll go with you.
Of course you will. But only wine, no liquor over there. By the way, your podcast gets on those like spill some tea things a lot, huh? Because I see
it does.
No way.
Sometimes I get like, I see these TikToks pop up, and
what
it's
is
like,
what does he say?
We don't really talk too much.
They talked about how much money you spent on your bachelor party.
On Spill Some Tea.
You know, yeah.
That made Spill Some Tea. Hi, Spill Some Tea. How are you? I get your TikToks all the time, and it ruins my day.
Hey, I will spill some of this, huh?
I don't watch them. When Spill Some Tea comes up, I'm like, I can't watch this. It's like
I'm so intrigued. I'm so nosy. I like want to know what people are saying.
It's just so exhausting.
Like,
I don't like
that's a funny assumption. Like I like hearing the assumptions because I'm like false, true, false. You know, there's just
true,
so
false,
many like
false. Go fuck yourself. False.
Forming an opinion and like making these assumptions, and you're like,
yeah.
Do you ever think they get like really exhausted or tired, like stressed out in their neck or shoulders when they just constantly just like dig, talk shit?
Hell no, man. That drama's pulling in views and money.
I think they're pulling in a lot of money, and it's all fair game. It's like it's what it is. It's what we signed up for.
Yeah, you're on a podcast oversharing. Fucking
exactly. Exactly.
Been doing this for like 7 years, oversharing. Fair game.
And you have to. You have to share parts of your life. Even today, I was like making a TikTok about Fluffy, and I was like captioning it, and I was like, okay, I'm like, I hope he's okay with this. You know, that's what I hate about doing this.
Yeah, but
like,
you know, you have a choice. Like me and Natalie broke up, but I'm not going to overshare.
It's finally out there, guys.
Got the clickbait.
I'm just kidding.